So this next exercise is called the standing lunge. And one of the things, the goals that we have in reposturing is to bring the body back to its naturally intended range of motion and its naturally intended way it's supposed to move. The hips and the pelvis were meant to move in more of a pendulum action when you walk. And when you walk, what happens is over time, certain muscles start to take over. And so you start to see people that kind of are walking like this or walking like this, and their pelvis loses its movement, okay? This helps to restore that. It helps to create that floating pelvis that we're really aiming to have in reposturing. Your muscles are meant to do a little job, each one a little job as you walk, not one muscle taking up the whole job. So this helps to restore that, and it really helps to restore the natural suspensory function that the pelvis was meant to have. So what Michelle's gonna do is she's gonna open up her legs, and she's gonna keep, one of the keys to this exercise is that she's gonna keep her feet straight ahead, okay? Then she's gonna bend her knees, and what she's gonna do is, when you bend your knees, you almost feel like you're leaning back. So you're like almost right over the top of your pelvis, but you're not really leaning back, you're just a little bit. So you want your shoulders over your heels. And so here's a side shot of it, we can look from the side. This is something I recommend people start out doing in the mirror if they can, so they could really see if they're truly keeping their hip bones straight while they're doing the exercise. And then you sink down straight down into your pelvis. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna posteriorly tilt your pelvis, and it's gonna tilt it forward. So now your pelvis and your hip bone is in line with your knee, okay? And so this, she should be feeling a stretch in the adductors and in the front part of her hips. Breathe. So now what she's gonna do is she's gonna use her core muscles to hold her pelvis in a straight position while she straightens each leg out one at a time. Okay. So see how she leaned? That's not what you want. You want to keep the pelvis straight ahead. So go for it. Good. So that's going to be your tendency at first, because what it is that our pelvis just don't move in that way. So as she rotates through, she's not only strengthening the stabilizer muscles, which is going to help her suspensory function of her pelvis improve, but she's also stretching out the muscles of the adductors.